be at. I'm out riding around, not riding around actually. I'm about to go grocery shopping. I just took a walk with Malin around the block in her stroller. She's out with me because her mother is doing hair. So, yeah, it's little daddy-daughter day. Spending a little time, and she don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna do a little grocery shopping because I do not feel like being in the house because she's gonna be doing her hair all entire day, and I actually got laundry and stuff I need to be doing anyway, but I'd rather handle some responsibility and be able to just chill with Malin for a couple hours. I'm not really that equipped with everything that I need because I got one bottle, a couple diapers, so when that runs out, we going home. So yeah, we're going to the house. So, the journey here has been crazy. As far as Malin's a NICU baby, and I don't know if I'll put the link below, but my wife, she put on her page, her channel, that her experience with Malin being born and early and all that. So that's her point of view. I can say from my point of view what happened from the days leading up to her early arrival to now. So the weeks leading up to the delivery, I honestly didn't know what was going on as far as Malin was concerned. As far as Shamara was concerned. Then I watched her channel, and I didn't know anything about blood pressure, high blood pressure, any of that stuff. She didn't tell me any of that stuff. She just didn't. So I didn't know anything about any of that. So weeks leading up to it, it was a lot going on. The night before all of this took place, Shamara came up to me and she had a conversation with me. We ain't gotta talk about what the conversation was about, but at that point everything was kind of like smoothing out. And that night, I was asleep, so I was just asleep. So I wake up in the middle of the night, the night of the 26th, the morning of the 27th, night of the 26th. When I woke up, I was awakened by her because she ran in. When she came in, she had been out of the room, and she came up my side of the bed and she rolled over me and woke me up, like all of about 7 months pregnant, rolled over me.
Good idea, baby.
What the hell? Hey, Moretta, come here. You roll over this car one more time, the car gonna roll over you.
So, of course, a pregnant woman rolling over you will wake you up. So I woke up, and she rolled over me on my side of the bed to get to her side, and she no, she didn't fall asleep. She was up crying, and I heard her like whimpering, kind of, and I didn't know what was going on. So I woke up and like, what's wrong with you? And she said she had a headache, and she was tired, and her headache was like really, really bad. And keep in mind, that day after we got off work, she had a doctor's appointment. So my thing was, okay, so do you think you can make it through the rest of today to wait till we go to the doctor to see what's wrong with you? And she said, she didn't answer me. She didn't answer me for like 2 minutes, like a solid 60 seconds. I say a minute. And I'm like, okay, maybe she didn't hear me. So I asked her again and she didn't answer me. So at that point, I'm like, okay, so since you didn't answer me, she said, oh no, we can wait. I said, nope, too late. Get up. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, get up, get your stuff, and pack your stuff. I'm gonna tell your mom that we're going to the emergency room and that if she could keep Nye or take her to school or whatever. I don't fucking remember how that worked out. But so I got it. We got up. We went to the emergency room. This was the second time we had went to the emergency room. The first time it was from bleeding. This time it was because of her headache. So when we got to the emergency room, we walked straight in. When we walked in, they said, okay, so what's wrong? So she's 7 months pregnant and she has a really bad headache. And so they was like, okay, we didn't have to sign papers or nothing. They just said, okay, so come straight to the back. They went into the back. They took her blood pressure, and then they took her blood pressure, and then took into account the headaches. And they was like, okay, so we're going to admit you. Okay, so granted, that morning when she told me what she thought she had, which come to be known as preeclampsia, I Googled it and stuff, and I seen how serious it was. I didn't know how serious it was till we got to the hospital, because when we got to the hospital, they automatically admitted her. It was not even a process. They sent her to the labor and delivery emergency room. We were sitting in this emergency room with some woman that was going into labor on the table and talking about splashing all over. I was scared because I thought that lady was going to get that afterbirth stuff on my feet or shoes, because it was in an emergency room, so it was a cloth thing separating us. I was just thinking the worst. So they got her everything together as far as like her what do they call them, her signs, I don't know what the medical term is. It's together and say, okay, so we're gonna have to admit you. They had a doctor come in to the thing, our doctor, and when our doctor got in there, she said that, okay, so what's gonna happen is you have preeclampsia. There's only one thing that you can actually do, because if you wait, only one of y'all gonna make it. And at that point, I mean, I'm like, okay, only one of us gonna make it. Only one of them, not us. One of them gonna make it. Okay, so that would have been an easy decision for me. Probably not so much for Shamara. So they said, so we have to deliver the baby. So pretty much they took that decision out of our hands, because that would have been a bad. Because I would not have chose that. So they took her. They told us that they had to take the baby early. The baby had to come. This is all at 31 weeks, so she was not ready, not done baking. So that was kind of a scary thought. That's the first time I had been scared during the pregnancy, where I thought that it actually would have affected me. So Shamara's crying when they leave the room, because they're prepping her and they're getting all this stuff together and getting her drugs together and all the stuff that she was going to be on. I don't know what none of that stuff was called, but you can actually go to Shamara's channel and she put them on there. I think it was like magnesium or something like that. But they put all of that stuff in her. Shamara's like crying, worked up. I'm comforting her, telling her everything's going to be okay, I was scared. I left the room to call my mom, but right before I called my mom, I walked into the hallway and I broke down. Like, I was so terrified. So I called my mom and she said everything's gonna be all right. I'm about to leave work. I'll be up there in a minute and all that. So my mom came. She sat in the room with us while they were prepping Shamara to take her to the actual labor and delivery room. So we get up to the room, and at that point, everything's kind of calming down a little bit. Shamara's like super drugged up, so she don't really know what's going on for real. Because I want you to see your face when you better. Them eyes are super low. No. So then Shamar's mom comes, and then we're all just in the room chilling. And the process is like super long. It's like we've been at this point in the hospital from 5 p.m. a.m. to maybe noon. So we just chilling. And there's your mommy. She was stressed this morning. We weren't really expecting you for another 2 months. There's your G-mom. She don't look as old as she is. Or, no, she looks older than she is, I mean.
Shut the hell up.
For things, it can take up to a half an hour. Hopefully it won't take that long to have you up flat on your back like that, but say, sometimes we get just nice and cozy together.
And chilling in the room. Shamar works there, so I'm getting food from the cafe off her badge and all this. So I'm just chilling. I don't mean too much for me to do, for real. Then at that point, they told us that the baby would, it's a possibility that it would have to be a C-section because the baby wouldn't survive the contractions because of the drugs. And I don't know how that works, but I guess because of the way that the drugs counteracts the actual delivery or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, fellas, like if you a father and you going through this NICU or early like pre-eclampsia, your wife or girlfriend has pre-eclampsia, or your side piece, baby mama, jump off, whoever going through this, just stay strong and just like you gotta like think positive, because that's only thing there's room for is that, like, you gotta keep a light heart. Like I try to keep it lighthearted. I started to document what was going on. So yeah, so then they told us the C-section is actually more viable. Probably what happened is more the probability of her having a C-section was high because of the delivery mishaps, the things that could go wrong. So we braced for the actual C-section. So they took me, fast forward to the actual almost to about the time they prepped her, they took her out of the room, and then they took Shamara out of the room into the actual surgery room, and they told me I couldn't go in there to watch the prep. I don't know why, but yeah, they told me I couldn't go in. They said they would allow me to go in once they get her on the table and the epidural together and all that stuff done. They wanted to protect themselves, I guess. So I waited. They suited me up in all white in like this thing that I will post right here. And then they brought me in. At that point, I seen Shamar. Half her body was like behind this blue wall with like a little window that I could see through, and Shamar could see through if she lifted her head up a little bit. So we're just sitting there. I'm holding her hand, like petting her hair, and we just chilling until they get ready to do the C-section. So then they say, okay, so we're about to start. They cut, and then I hear Malin. So I look, she's so small. She was born at 3 pounds, 3 ounces, and she was like 16 and a half inches long. She was super small. So I don't know if she was 16. I think it was 16. But she's small, she's crying. So I don't know who to comfort. My wife's over here. She's got tears coming out her eyes. She's kind of, I don't know if she's happy or scared or tired. I don't know what the thing is at that time. Then my baby is over here going crazy, and I want to witness her. They told me I would be able to cut the umbilical cord. They didn't.
All right. Right there. How much oxygen do you want? 30 is good.
Them bamboozlers cut her before I could get over there to cut her. So they cut her, they put her on the table, weighed her up and everything. So I'm like sitting in between Shamar and my daughter. I don't know who to comfort.
No, my mom.
So I'm like, okay, I'm about to just sit over here with Shamara. So I sat with Shamara until I looked over and I seen them cleaning her off. So I was okay, this looks interesting. And she stops breathing. Malin, like, just stops breathing.
You're right, Lisa. I'm gonna go. Okay. Having all the heart rate.
And it was, okay, you can't be over here. They try to move me out the way and stuff, try to get me out the way, so they could revive her. So I go back over to Shamara, sit with her, like pray with her, pray over her, like just chilling with her until they got her together. Then they say, okay, she's back. She's back. Oh man, I wanted to flip that table over.
Can you see her hair, Mom? Come on, it's bad. This one's gonna be super big on you. Everything on hook. You want to hook the blade? That will be quick or no. Careful. Take that.
But yeah, so they got her back to breathing and stuff, cleaned her up nice and good, and they took the baby up to the NICU, and I went to the recovery room where Shamar was going to be put. And so just for about an hour or two, we had to sit in there just until till they got her actual room together. So they got, we sitting in there, and then they asked me if I wanted to go see the baby. I'm like, yeah, of course. So I go see the baby, I go look at her, make sure they ain't doing no weird shit to her. And we just chilling, like we just really just chilling. And from that point, we went to our room. Shamar stayed in there for a few days, and then they let us go. And then every single day, we were up at the hospital to visit Malin to make sure she got her kangaroo time, fellas, which kangaroo time is just skin to skin.
Great. Yep.
I think that's important for both. I only did skin to skin like twice, but I got hair on my chest, and Malin looked like she wasn't really feeling that. So I let her mom do the skin to skin, and I just was like hoeing her and like kissing her and stuff just so she could feel me. And that was every single day. And every single day was just like, it was hard leaving the hospital and leaving her up there to come home and to go up there the next day. It was hard, emotionally, mentally. But in that time, me and my wife got closer. We got so much closer because of what we were going through, and then that connection. We were connecting with each other at like an all-time like high. I don't think it was because of it was probably because of Malin, but I think we were connecting because we needed each other. Like we needed to stay strong for each other, and every day. Our marriage, like kids don't save marriages or nothing like that. I'm not saying that everything was just bad, but this situation brought us so much closer. It got us through a lot, and brought us so much closer. Pregnancy was horrible. The actual pregnancy, maybe I'll talk about that later for fellas. If y'all want to see that or see me talk about like the updates throughout the months, I can do that, but it ain't something I really want to talk about right now. The actual her being here brought us together. Like she really saved a lot as far as my life, my way of thinking. Malin just how happy she is now as a baby. What are you talking about? Huh? Go ahead, talk. What you got on your mind? Just like daddy. Yeah, Malin has just been beautiful. Like, it's been a great process. She's gained weight. She's went from 3.3 pounds. She's up to like 11 pounds now. 4 months now. So yeah, everything works out. You just got to keep faith, and your baby is as strong as he or she is strong. They're stronger than you think. She's getting worked up in the back now. I can hear her working up. We're about to get out this car, but yeah. The delivery, it was one of the best moments I've had in my life. I remember every smell. Wasn't like bad smells or nothing like that. I'm just saying, it was, smell, sound, feel, like the energy. I remember it all, and it's a moment I wouldn't trade for anything. I just appreciate God for bringing this blessing, because that's what Malin is. Like, she shows me where every breath that she takes that life is fighting. It's fighting. You have to fight for every breath. You have to enjoy and not take those breaths for granted, because we don't have to be here. So she teaches me every day with her smile and just her energy. Like, she's kind of mean and feisty, but that she get that from her mom. But yeah, all in all, like, this baby just has been, like, she's just been incredible, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So fellas, if there's anything that you want to know, like question wise, from a father's point of view, or any questions about the delivery specifically, or the steps that you have to take, or anything, us fathers, man, we got to stick together. Like, so let me know what y'all have, like, in the comments below. Subscribe, and just let me know what from my experience, any questions that you may have, and I'll be more than happy to post that video, do a quick video and post it up, and just so other fathers can have an idea of what it's like to have a NICU baby. But yeah, everything is cool. I'm about to show y'all her now, and so y'all can have an idea. Like, her head's still kind of big, but that's because my head is big. So I don't know if that's because she got a preemie head, or if it's just because she got a Crowder head. That's to be determined. Malin over here.